Right now, we're waking up to some cooler temperatures this morning, but luckily Chris says this won't last too long. He'll let us know when the warmer weather will return. And the spring election is just 3 days away. We'll have the latest on the historic race for Madison mayor. Plus, your weekend dinner plans could be impacted by a nationwide staffing shortage, how local restaurants are working to make sure they can still serve you.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning and thanks for joining us on this Saturday, March 30th. I'm Josh Breder with meteorologist Chris Reese. March flew by just like that.
It did. We are already getting ready to talk about April.
Feeling
and then
like
I can finally say April showers out there. It does feel like it, so that's certainly some good news. Temperatures are in the upper 30s this morning for us, so not too shabby. Winds coming out of the north and northwest at 9. It is cloudy, so that is something to keep in mind, but the air is fairly dry. Temperatures are mainly in the 30s for all of us. A few of us are still in the 40s this morning. Lone Rock and Boscobel both at 40 degrees, but most of us are seeing those temperatures in the upper 30s, which oddly enough is a couple degrees warmer than we were yesterday. But we will see a colder afternoon overall, especially with this north wind continuing. That is not going to allow those temperatures to warm up all that much later. So here's what we're watching: a lot of cloud cover, some rain mainly south of us. And look, it is just cold enough to turn over to snow. It wouldn't be a Saturday, right? But we're going to watch that one move through. Let us know if that's reaching the ground. But again, for most of us, that air is fairly dry, as the system that we've been talking about is mainly to our south. And we have dry air in control that is going to keep it to our south. Look for high pressure to push it away from us as we go throughout the day, and some sunshine that's going to return later on this afternoon.
Really not much to complain about in that forecast.
No, it's still a good forecast overall, which is fantastic.
All right, Chris, thank you. It is 5:02 this morning, and we begin this morning with an investigation just east of the Capitol after several shots were fired overnight. Madison police say it happened around midnight in the 200 block of North Ingersoll Street. That's about a block and a half east of Stevens Field. Officers say they responded and found a man bleeding from the head. That head injury was the result of blunt force trauma. Officers also found evidence at the scene that shots were fired, but police are still investigating this morning. No arrests have been made yet. Around the state this morning, the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner is investigating the death of a man at Miller Park. They were called to the ballpark around 4:30 yesterday afternoon, shortly after the gates opened for the evening game. The medical examiner says the death is considered natural. We're told he is a 64-year-old and was an employee at Miller Park. There's another death investigation in Milwaukee after a body was found near Marquette University, a dorm room there. Police say the victim is a 45-year-old man who suffered a head injury, but say he is not associated with the university. His body was discovered around 9:30 yesterday morning on the side steps of the Redeemer Lutheran Church. An autopsy will be done on Monday. Police are still looking for a suspect there. The man found guilty of kidnapping Jamie Kloss and murdering her parents has been moved out of the Barron County Jail. Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald says 21-year-old Jake Patterson is now being held in the Dunn County Jail in Menominee. Fitzgerald says it was an administrative decision and that Patterson will be held there until his sentencing on May 24th. At that time, he will be transferred back to Barron County. 5:03 this morning. The spring election is just 3 days away, and if money is any indication, Madison could have a new mayor. Former Alder Satya Rhodes Conway has raised more money in Madison's mayoral race than incumbent Paul Soglin. The State Journal reports in the latest fundraising period from February 5th through March 18th, Rhodes Conway raised almost $126,000 while Mayor Soglin had $77,000. As far as overall fundraising from July 1st until now, Rhodes Conway has raised $210,000 compared to Soglin's $189,000. The spring election is this coming Tuesday. Well, the average price for gas in Madison this morning is $2.67, and we could soon see an even bigger hike in prices at the pump under the governor's new plan to increase the gas tax by nearly a dime over the next 2 years. That's about 2 cents more than he originally talked about while promoting his spending plan. The increase is part of Evers' plan to put more money towards roads. Wisconsin's gas tax is currently at 32.9 cents, but would jump to 42.5. He says the increase would be offset by another proposal to eliminate the minimum markup law on gasoline. That's a measure requiring gas stations to increase the price by just over 9% above the average wholesale price. And now Wisconsin consumer protection officials are warning victims of the recent flooding to be wary of predatory contractors. The State Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection says transient contractors look to take advantage of homeowners affected by natural disasters. These contractors are often called storm chasers. Officials warn they may offer to conduct repair work faster and at a lower cost, but will use low-grade material or leave before completing the job. For some residents in Adams County, this recent flooding and influx of standing water is nothing new. People in Big Flat Township say they've been seeing their neighbors slowly abandon their homes as flooding has been going on for years now. They say it started 3 years ago following a pipeline construction project. This history of high water and recent spring flood has a few people still there in a bind, and the county has not been declared a federal emergency zone, and it's not a floodplain. That means those residents don't qualify for federal assistance and can't bill insurance.
I wanted a little bit of the American dream and had a short walk to my job and loved my shop, and I got this. So it's actually turned into an American nightmare.
Call your neighbors.
Roy Bragg owned a business there for 7 years, but closed it, saying it's hard to get customers when it's always flooded. More than 1 million private wells across the Midwest might face the risk of contamination from ongoing floodwaters, especially in rural areas. It poses a threat to drinking water supplied by those wells, as the high water and swift current carries things like raw sewage from overburdened treatment plants. The National Groundwater Association says there are 1.1 million private wells in 300 flooded counties across 10 states. In more local news at 5:07 this morning, Janesville residents are moving forward with ideas on how to provide more housing for the homeless. According to county leaders, Rock County is home to roughly 350 homeless people. Earlier this year, local craftsman Richard Snyder proposed building tiny homes for them. Since then, he's raised around thousands of dollars and has been given a free lot to build them on.
For one individual, a homeless person, it would be ideal compared to sharing a bunk with 10 others in a large room. I mean, this would give somebody that personal, private feeling and transitional living, as well as a 600 square foot home for a young couple, you know, or anybody in need.
The city of Janesville has also been working on a plan which would include partnering with a local nonprofit to include case managers in the rehousing process. However, residents in the 4th Ward, where the free lot is located, are not in favor of the plan, as they fear it could bring crime to the neighborhood if the homes aren't properly managed. Well, this weekend is your last chance to get a cold treat from a Middleton frozen yogurt shop. Menchie's announced it's closing its doors tomorrow. The franchise has been at the Middleton Hills location for 6 years. That's the same business area with Craftsman Table and Tap and the Pick and Save off Century Avenue. After nearly 15 years on Capitol Square, Broke Hatch Irish Pub and Whiskey Den is closing its doors next month. According to a Facebook post, the restaurant's last day is next Sunday, April 7th. Broke Hatch is one of the few spots in the Madison area serving Irish food. Its Monroe Street location also closed in the past year. And you could soon have even fewer options to choose from when making your weekend dinner plans. A nationwide staffing shortage is being felt in the local food scene. Madison College is responsible for training the next generation of local chefs. Program Chair Chef Paul Short says some of his students can hopefully alleviate the problems we're seeing. He knows of local restaurants that have had to limit their growth or even close locations because they can't find enough people to work.
Madison has become such a great food scene. We have so many really awesome choices where to go eat now, which also meant a large growth of restaurants in the area as well. And so I think now we're in that period of trying to catch up with that.
Short says owners need to take the same creativity they have with food and apply it to the job responsibilities and benefits to keep the industry cost effective for them and their customers. Some Madison restaurants have already improved their benefits packages and wages to try and stay competitive. Walgreens is getting into the CBD business, but we won't quite see it yet here in Wisconsin. The drugstore chain will soon sell cannabis-based products in Oregon, Colorado, New Mexico, Kentucky, Tennessee, Vermont, South Carolina, Illinois, and Indiana. Products include creams, patches, and sprays that promote health and well-being. 10 minutes past 5 this morning, and there's a chill back in the air across southern Wisconsin this morning, but you might want to find some time to get outside and get some yard work done this weekend. We'll explain why coming up. And as we take a live look over the Capitol this Saturday morning, the final Saturday of March, these cooler temperatures aren't here for long. Chris is tracking a warm-up in his first lower forecast. That's when News 3 Now this morning continues.
A little bit of a chill in the air to your Saturday. That is as some colder air settles in for your weekend, but still, we will begin to see some sunshine as we move into the afternoon. Things so not as sunny at the moment. A lot of cloud cover out here. Some of us may be seeing some flurries. I know the air is fairly dry, so what's showing up on Doppler track may not exactly be reaching the ground, but it's showing that possibility of some snowflakes over some of our friends, especially south and west of the Madison area. We zoom out and you actually can see that that's really about it. Most of that moisture is well to our south. Here is the overall system that does have did have the potential to impact us this weekend, but you see most of that moisture is well south of us, keeping us more so in drier air, which of course is great news for the weekend. Now this is cloud cover, and we do have a lot of cloud cover over us at the moment, but pay attention to the high plains, parts of South Dakota and Minnesota. Watch how you almost see a little line that's pushing that cloud cover towards the south and east. That is actually high pressure taking control and pushing a lot of this moisture on out of here. It's bringing bringing in some drier air as well. So that front that has been stalled out really for the past day is now going to be on the move for much of the upper Midwest. The moisture is going to move towards the eastern seaboard. Dry air then settles in for us. That means we are going to see more in the way of sunshine, not just today, but going into tomorrow and into Monday as well. Eventually, that high begins to move over towards our south and east, and then we start to get in on a southerly wind flow, which is gradually going to warm us up each and every day into the week ahead. Let's go ahead and show you where things are right now. We're at 38 degrees in Madison, and winds still coming out of the north, bringing in that drier air that we are going to see going throughout the day. Temperatures will begin to climb through the 30s. We'll approach 40 as we get you towards 11 o'clock and then towards lunchtime, and then sunshine and temperatures near 43 today. Some cloud cover and snow showers will be possible along the lakeshore, though, if you're going to be headed that direction. With the clearing skies, it is going to be a chillier night, though. We'll see those lows near 22. Some of us will likely fall into the upper teens, but then more sunshine for your Sunday, and those highs again will be in the lower 40s before we start to see some cloud cover moving in Sunday evening into early Monday. That's not going to be a lot. I do think we're going to see more sunshine after that wave of cloud cover moves through. And then it is all about the rebound, my friends. Watch how temperatures continue to climb beyond that, staying above average in the process. We will have a rain chance on Wednesday and into Thursday that could bring some thunder to some of us as well. But then we are keeping a forecast that is mostly sunny and very warm for this time of the year, Josh.
Can't help but smile looking at that forecast.
Absolutely, bud.
All right, Chris, thank you.
My pleasure.
You might want to make sure you get some of that yard work done this weekend if you've been putting it off. Curbside brush and yard waste collection begins Monday morning in Madison, running through September. The city will not pick them up unless you separate the brush from yard waste. Brush includes things like tree, shrub, and bush trimmings, while yard waste covers leaves and twigs. And you can find links to those schedules for yard waste and brush pickup on channel3000.com. 5:17 right now, and for the first time ever, women top the ticket of one of the biggest wrestling events of the year. And we're getting a preview of Netflix's newest show. Plus, there are several shows and movies for you to enjoy this last weekend of the month. Will's next with 3 things to watch on News 3 Now this morning. Welcome back at 5:20. Women will top the ticket of this year's WrestleMania for the first time in history. WrestleMania will feature a triple threat match of Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, and Becky Lynch. Rousey says she's even got a secret weapon to serenade her to the ring. Joan Jett will perform Bad Reputation as Rousey walks into the ring. WrestleMania 35 takes place April 7th, and you can watch it on pay-per-view. And why be normal when you can be special? That's the premise behind Netflix's latest original programming. The new comedy called Special is about a gay man who seeks to reinvent himself despite having mild cerebral palsy. You can watch the new series starting April 12th. Lucky for us, we don't have to wait until April to catch something good, and today's cooler forecast makes it even more tempting to stay inside. Will Loper has 3 things to watch this weekend.
Here we are, the Eiffel Tower.
New on home video this week is Stan and Ollie.
Hold this. Do we really need that trunk?
John C. Reilly and Steve Coogan star as the vaudeville stars Laurel and Hardy, who are past their golden age, but try to make their comeback on stage and must find a way to work together along the way.
You're not still carrying that around, are you? Because I went ahead and did a picture with someone else 16 years ago.
You and Harry are just going to be great together.
Couldn't sleep for days when they told me what you did.
And I couldn't sleep when I did it.
You betrayed me. Betrayed our friendship. I loved us.
You loved Laurel and Hardy, but you never loved me.
Stan and Ollie is available to rent or buy everywhere now.
Do you ever look at your life and wonder how you got there? If you made different choices, would you be happier?
Also arriving on home video this week is Jennifer Lopez in Second Act.
It's not easy getting a job for a woman your age.
Watch me.
Lopez stars in the rom-com as a woman who gets the chance of a lifetime to prove her worth in a new career.
Clark? Your resume interests me. Wharton Business School.
I'm sorry, what?
And, of course, you have got to see her Facebook page.
My Facebook page? Obama?
I gave you a completely new identity.
Second Act is available to rent or buy everywhere now.
Trying to save the day.
Okay.
Finally, this week marks the 20-year anniversary of 1999's The Matrix.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room.
The film, which changed action movies forever, stars Keanu Reeves as Neo, who learns that all of Earth is a simulation and that humans are being used as batteries by machines.
How did I beat you?
You're too fast.
Do you believe that my being stronger or faster has anything to do with my muscles in this place? You think that's air you're breathing now?
Neo, along with Morpheus and Trinity, fight back against the computer program with lots and lots of bullets. The Matrix is available to rent or buy everywhere now. Happy watching. Those are the 3 things you need to watch. And this is Will Loper for News 3 Now this morning.
It is 5:24, and there's more local news ahead for us, including the added reason local restaurants are hoping for your business this weekend. And using instruments to unite us, the inspiring story harnessing the power of playing music to help students from all backgrounds succeed. This is News 3 Now this morning. Striking a chord and a sense of newfound confidence. We'll show you the arts program inspiring a group of middle schoolers to try something new and learn about themselves.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, Southern Wisconsin, and thanks for staying with us on this Sunday, March 30th. I'm Josh Breiter. Chris will have more details on when we can see a warm-up again in his first alert forecast. But first, new overnight, one person was found with injuries after several shots were fired east of the Capitol. Madison police say it happened around midnight in the 200 block of North Ingersoll Street. That's about a block and a half east of Bree Stevens Field. Officers say they responded and found a man bleeding from the head. That head injury was a result of blunt force trauma. Officers also found evidence at the scene that shots were fired but are still investigating this morning. Police say no arrests have been made yet. The spring election is just 3 days away, and the latest report shows former Alder Satya Rhodes Conway raising more money in Madison's mayoral race than incumbent Paul Soglin. The State Journal reports in the fundraising period from February 5th through March 18th, Rhodes Conway raised almost $126,000, while Mayor Soglin had only $77,000. As far as overall fundraising from July 1st until now, Rhodes Conway has raised $210,000 compared to Soglin's $189,000. You could soon have fewer options to choose from when making your weekend dinner plans. A nationwide staffing shortage is being felt in the local restaurant scene. Leaders at Madison College's culinary program say local restaurants have had to limit their growth or even close locations because they can't find enough people to work. This news comes just as Brocatch announced it's closing its doors. The Irish restaurant has been on the Capitol Square for 15 years and will close next weekend. And this weekend is your last chance to get a cold treat from a Middleton frozen yogurt shop. Menchie's announced it's closing its doors tomorrow. The franchise has been in a Middleton Hills location for 6 years now. That's the same business area with Craftsman Table and Tap and the Pick and Save off Century Avenue. 5:30 on the nose right now, and we've got a pretty decent weekend on tap there, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Not too bad out there. Kind of a good weekend to maybe grab some frozen yogurt if you're going to be out and about. Yes, it is chillier, but it is Wisconsin by all means. 38 degrees right now. Winds coming out of the north and northwest at 9 miles per hour, and most of our temperatures do remain in the 30s this morning. 39 for Janesville, same for Monroe. Boscobel and Lone Rock do have temperatures of 40 right now, and then Camp Douglas is at 29. So there's a little bit of a range. Most of us are in between. And a lot of these temperatures are actually a couple degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. But as we go into the afternoon, we will really begin to see that difference and notice that those temperatures are colder than they were yesterday, especially with those winds continuing to come out of the north. We'll see that just about all day long. A little bit of cloud cover out there. Well, a lot of cloud cover out there, especially over the southern half of the state. There's also some indication that we could be seeing some snow flurries, mainly south of Madison. Here's the deal. That air is very dry, folks, so let us know if those are actually making it to the ground. Most of the moisture associated with the system is well to our south, and it's going to be staying to our south as we go throughout the day. So expect more sunshine to come into the picture this afternoon. In the meantime, we'll keep that cloud cover this morning. Josh?
Thank you. Governor Evers is putting his money where his mouth is, significantly increasing support for Wisconsin state parks. A Legislative Fiscal Bureau analysis of the governor's budget shows Evers wants to spend an additional $2.8 million from the state conservation fund on parks over the next 2 years. More than $900,000 would go towards raises for seasonal workers. Former Governor Scott Walker eliminated state support for parks in 2015, leaving state parks to survive on fees alone. In more local news at 5:32, the DNR is asking you to do your part in protecting trees this season. Gypsy moth eggs are expected to hatch in the next few weeks, and state officials are asking you to treat or remove any egg masses to help those trees and reduce caterpillar populations. Gypsy moth caterpillars feed on 300 species of trees and are capable of killing off the leaves of just not the entire trees, but also entire forests. Egg masses are tan-colored lumps, usually the size of a nickel or quarter, and can contain up to 1,000 eggs. If you do see one of those masses on your trees or even your home, the DNR recommends using horticulture oil to suffocate the eggs. This works only when temperatures are above 40 degrees. You You can also scrape egg masses into a can of soapy water, let them soak for a few days, and then throw them out. UW researchers are making the case for why more trees could make our city cooler. They say the right amount of tree cover could lower summer temperatures during the day by as much as 10 degrees. Researchers say more green should be priority for city planners faced with climate change and heat waves. But it's not just because trees produce shade. They also release water into the air through the leaves, which cools the air down. For this to work, though, a single city would need to be nearly halfway covered by tree canopy. 5:33 right now. Music is a uniting force bonding people from all backgrounds in one of America's most diverse cities. Middle schoolers are learning a new skill, providing them with a sense of newfound confidence carrying over to other aspects of their lives. Here's Adriana Diaz.
In this Cleveland middle school, kids are learning classical guitar. And if you think they're impressive, meet their 15-year-old student instructor. Damian Goggins can strum with the pros. But this maestro in training has only played for 2.5 years.
When my teacher told me about the guitar club, I definitely did not want to play.
Music had never really occurred to you as an option. But the Cleveland Foundation is trying to change that. Through its Arts Mastery program, 3,000 children from diverse neighborhoods now have access to masterclass level arts training. They're growing in skill and self-esteem.
I used to hate who I was.
Are you comfortable sharing what was going on in your life?
Well, we kind of lost our house and things like that. And so that was kind of upsetting because I had to try to hide that from people. And then my mom was going to jail and things like that.
And that naturally affected how you felt about yourself?
Yes.
So what happened that first day that you picked up the guitar?
It kind of opened up a door for me. After I played that first note, it was just whoa. I play guitar and it's it talks for me.
That therapy comes from the music itself and the man who teaches it.
It's 4 different fingers, right?
Eric Mann runs the Cleveland Classical Guitar Society. Outside of class, Mr. Mann spends time with Damien and his family, even helping them get on their feet when they were homeless.
Damien's one of the most talented students I've ever seen and has a real passion for the instrument.
How does it feel to hear that, Damien?
Okay.
One of the most important things I do is to, as best I can, provide an emotional support. I've seen myself the power that music has to transform lives.
For 17-year-old Sylvia Settles, that transformation comes from dance. She went from training 3 days a week to 6 under professional dancer Terrence Green, who she calls a father figure. Is there something about the teacher-student relationship when there is an art at the center of it that makes it that much closer?
Most definitely, because for us, it's our choice of weapon. Without it, we can't live when you come from a community like we have. I would not be here. I would be dead, really dead.
Green says art saved him, and now he's paying it forward. Your smile is from here to here when you talk about dance. For Sylvia, dance provides purpose and refuge, helping her grieve after losing her brother to gun violence.
It was good for me to be around people that I love, doing the stuff that I loved. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Where would you be without dance?
I don't know, probably in the street somewhere, not doing what I'm supposed to do, not caring about school.
Someone please heal me.
Up, slow. Head up in the air. And black out.
What do you think can be the impact of music and arts being accessible to kids like you, to your generation in Cleveland?
a lot more people could be alive, because people who look like me, sometimes we have to find a way to be able to survive. But then once you get like music or any type of artistic thing, you could like know who you are, because music is going to take me somewhere, and I want to be able to see where it is that it's going to take me.
A journey that harnesses harmony, no matter the destination. Adriana Diaz, Cleveland.
It is 5:38. Are you looking for something to do this weekend? Well, we've got some ideas for you and the family. From a symphony set to the sights and sounds of nature to several local shows getting you laughing, singing, and dancing. Your Weekend 608 is next on News 3 Now this morning. Welcome back at 5:41. It is the weekend in the 608.
That's right, and here's a look at what's going on in the area.
First off, this is something truly unique. How relaxing does this sound? 90 minutes of National Geographic caliber nature footage shown as a soaring soundtrack. It's the Madison Symphony Orchestra's latest show, The Symphony of Our World, or For Our World at Overture Hall. The film will explore the natural world of the oceans, coastlines, mountains, and skies. That's happening tonight at 8.
And a big band is in town. The British folk rock band Mumford & Sons will take over the Kohl Center tonight at 7:30. However, there are not many tickets left over, and the band will not wait for you. I know, that was pretty good, right? The band has had a string of hits and won the 2013 Grammy Award for Album of the Year. Mumford & Sons is now touring in support of its newest album, Delta. If you missed tonight's show, the band is also stopping at Milwaukee's Pfizer Forum tomorrow night.
Love to laugh? We'll head over to the Comedy on State to see Tony Bell. He's one of those people that are just entertainers to the core. You may have seen Belle on TV sitcoms, most recently as a regular cast member on Fam, a CBS comedy. But this weekend, he keeps his stand-up comedy routine sharp. This is the second night of his stint here in town. There are 2 more shows tonight at 8 and 10:30.
And how about a Sunday boogie for the whole family? Little kids and their parents will love the karaoke-style kiddie cabaret Boogie for Bernie's, led by local musician and choir teacher at the High Noon Saloon tomorrow afternoon. The kids will get to pick the songs they sing, and the boogie does include face painting and a photo booth. This fundraiser is for a Madison child care center known as Bernie's Place. You can join the fun Sunday at 2.
And if country is your thing, here's a fun event. Rounding out the weekend are American music and history scholars Bill and Bobby Malone performing some of their favorite country and bluegrass songs. Bill is the author of the book Country Music USA. He plays guitar, and Bobby, also an award-winning author, plays mandolin. Both sing. You can catch the Sunday show at 4:30 at 702 WI. It was Performance Space and Gallery on East Johnson Street.
And as always, pick up a copy of this month's Madison magazine for all of the best in our Madison area.
All right, it is 5:44 right now. We're waking up a little cooler out there this morning, but really not too much to complain about.
I know, it's nothing we can't handle at least. You're looking live over the Capitol right now, and I am tracking the return of some milder weather, though. So I'll have your full weekend forecast coming up.
But first, if you have a little kid turning 3 soon, please let us know so we can show their picture on TV. Thanks for making News 3 Now this morning, Saturday, your favorite choice for local news.
Look who's
Welcome to the weekend, my friends. We do have a little bit of action to track earlier on this morning, but I do think we'll get some sunshine into the way. Let's go ahead and start you with Doppler track and what we've been watching throughout the night and early this morning. There's a system passing towards the south. We've got more dry air in place for us, but still there's a possibility of some flurries, mainly south and west of Madison. With the dry air, I'm not so sure those are reaching the ground. So if you were seeing them reach the ground, go ahead and please let us know. Send in a report. But overall, the heaviest amounts of moisture are well to our south and east. A lot of rain coming through parts of Illinois, just south of Chicago, working through northern Indiana and into Michigan. Still some snow to the south of Omaha and into southern Iowa and northern Missouri this morning. We've also got a lot of cloud cover out there. This is infrared radar. It's a good way of showing you cloud cover at night, or infrared satellite rather. You see the cloud cover right here over most of southern Wisconsin, but check this out. There's a push of drier air coming in that's actually eliminating a lot of that cloud cover across the upper Midwest and pushing it to the south. That is high pressure and control along with drier air, and this is going to be on the move. So this cold front that's been stalled out for a couple days with these waves of low pressure riding along it, that's going to be pushing towards the eastern seaboard in due time. Northerly winds are going to take over for us. We are sweeping out the moisture from the atmosphere, and that is essentially going to mean a true return of sunshine through the rest of this weekend and really into early next week as well. There's a possibility of some passing cloud cover throughout the day on Monday, but for the most part, we're shaping up for a nice couple of days. Right now, if you're stepping out, the temperature is 38 degrees, still mostly cloudy, and we do continue to have that northerly wind flow that's going to help keep those temperatures on a cooler note going throughout your Saturday and Sunday as well. By 11 o'clock, temperatures begin to approach 40 as if they're not already. 43 for our highs this afternoon, but with the clear skies and those winds that are going to relax some during the overnight hours, it's going to be a recipe for those temperatures to fall back down into the 20s before more sunshine on Sunday and temperatures that are going to be in the low 40s once again. But it is all about the rebound, Josh, in the spirit of March Madness. You got to use basketball terms, right? By the way, go Cats, who beat Houston last night. I was truly conflicted between my two teams playing there, but we're going to see more sunshine throughout early next week. Then we'll have a chance of showers and thunderstorms Wednesday into Thursday. Check out next weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, fantastic. Speaking of nice, look at Mac relaxing in the field of flowers right there. That looks like something out of someone's dream, for real. But that is nice.
Yeah,
I like it.
That looks very, very, very happy.
Hopefully Mac gets a nice walk today.
I think so. I think Mac deserves it.
Yes.
All right, time for #MyMorning. And Denise posted this Stoughton sunrise on Facebook. Check that out there. We've had some gorgeous sunrise shots lately. Spring is just amazing. I love it.
Just Wisconsin is amazing.
Wisconsin is amazing. We love it. We love everything, right? All right, what does your morning look like? Take a picture, post it to our social media pages using the #MyNews3Morning. Well, a trip to Appleton might be in store for you this weekend. It's not every day an opera is performed in a swimming pool, but that's what's happening on the Lawrence University campus. It's called Breathe, a multidisciplinary water opera. It will be performed in and around the water at the pool in the school's wellness center. All of the usual opera expectations are included in the show, like singers, percussionists, trumpets, a cello, and even a flute. The show is 8 o'clock today and tomorrow. Admission is free, but you have to call the Lawrence box office ahead of a time to secure a spot. 5:51 right now, and there's a full hour of more local news ahead for us at 8 o'clock this morning. But first, seeing art and becoming it too, the unique new restaurant using technology to bring people together for a one-of-a-kind dining experience. This is News 3 Now this morning. Welcome back at 5:54. We're often told that technology divides us. It's not real and it's not necessarily for good. But a new concept in California is working to prove those points wrong.
Betty, you visited a new kind of restaurant using technology to bring people together for a dining experience that they will not forget.
A different sound. Inside One Dome, you're transported to a futuristic digital playground of sorts.
Just spin these around.
The immersive art destination on Market Street features experiences created by artists from the Bay Area and around the world.
I think they should leave their expectations at home and have an open mind because it will blow most expectations out the water. I mean, some of the things we're doing have never been done before.
One of those is the Unreal Garden, the first ever mass consumer mixed reality production, which uses augmented reality in a forest.
The reason we chose AR is because connection requires eye contact, and VR is an isolating experience still to date. So we basically have 25 people in an experience at one time, able to see what each other is doing.
The luminal installation takes people through a maze of 14 Instagram-friendly rooms. One of the exhibits here resembles a human kaleidoscope. This is one of several infinity boxes featured at One Dome.
This is a virtual waterfall, and with my feet, I can divert the direction of the water.
One Dome says it's using tech to open up art to the masses.
You know, technology today has sort of disconnected us from each other, and immersive tech, which enables us to actually come together and to connect back with each other, to be social and to bring us closer to the magic of reality.
Its latest production is doing just that through food. Feast is a pop-up dining communal experience. Here the menus are digital. Each of the 5 courses for 32 people is coordinated with changing tablescapes that respond to hand motions. Check out the steak entree.
It was pretty immersive, and it's a great experience to wallow in with the artwork and be a part of it.
I mean, I've been to Exploratorium, and that's like engineering and all that stuff, but each room, it just pulled you into the room.
On the Night Beat, I'm Betty Yu.
Good seeing technology in a good use.
Yeah, that's right. So you go into San Francisco, we're going to hit up the restaurant for lunch. Right?
All right.
All right, private jet. They're going to go ahead and get that ready for us because obviously we have one. But we're going to see some sunshine out there today. A little bit breezy earlier on, and the cloud cover will linger earlier on. But that sunshine does return as we move into the afternoon. More sunshine for Sunday. Notice temperatures this weekend are in the 40s. But watch the rebound in temperatures as we go back up towards 60 by Wednesday. We may not quite reach 60 because there is a storm system that's coming in that'll bring chances for rain and even some thunder into Thursday. I can't wait to hear that. Next weekend, lots of sunshine.
Thunder. Thunder.
All right.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here at 8 for more local news.